MuhammadYunus is best known for his pioneering work in microfinance, providing small loans to impoverished entrepreneurs in Bangladesh. His efforts with the Grameen Bank earned him the Nobel Peace Prize in 2006. Yet life had a different path in store for Yunus. In 2024, Bangladesh found itself teetering on the brink of chaos. Student-led protests erupted, fueled by allegations of corruption and authoritarianism against the then Prime Minister, Sheikh Hasina. As the nation grappled with uncertainty, Yunus, a figure widely respected for his integrity and compassion, was thrust into the spotlight. He was called upon to lead the nation through a period of transition, a role he accepted with a heavy heart. Yunus's journey to this unexpected position is a testament to his unwavering commitment to his homeland. Born in 1940 in Chittagong, Yunus witnessed firsthand the struggles of a newly independent nation grappling with poverty and inequality. His academic brilliance took him to the prestigious Dhaka University and later to the United States, where he earned a PhD in economics. By 2024, Bangladesh, once hailed as a model of economic growth and development, found itself mired in a deep political and economic crisis. The student-led protests that erupted that year were a culmination of growing discontent against the government of Sheikh Hasina. Hasina, who had been in power since 2009, had overseen a period of impressive economic growth, but this growth had come at a cost. Critics argued that her government had become increasingly authoritarian, cracking down on dissent and curtailing freedom of speech. The protests, which began at Dhaka University, quickly spread throughout the country, with students demanding Hasina's resignation. The protests were met with a heavy-handed response from the government. Security forces used tear gas, rubber bullets, and even live ammunition to disperse the demonstrators. Dozens of students were killed and hundreds more were injured. The government also shut down universities, blocked social media platforms, and arrested journalists and activists in an attempt to quell the unrest. However, these measures only served to further inflame the situation. In the midst of this turmoil, MuhammadYunus emerged as a beacon of hope for a nation desperate for stability and direction. He was appointed interim leader of Bangladesh in August 2024, a testament to his reputation as a man of integrity and vision. Yunus, however, was under no illusions about the challenges that lay ahead. He inherited a nation deeply divided, with a shattered economy and a disillusioned populace. Restoring peace and order was his immediate priority. Yunus initiated a dialogue with all political parties, urging them to set aside their differences and work together for the greater good of the nation. He also took steps to address the grievances of the student protesters, releasing those who had been unjustly imprisoned and establishing an independent commission to investigate the deaths and injuries that occurred during the crackdown. Recognizing the urgent need to stabilize the economy, Yunus announced a series of emergency measures. He introduced a temporary moratorium on loan repayments for small businesses, providing much-needed relief to struggling entrepreneurs. He also launched a public works program, creating jobs and injecting much-needed cash into the economy. While Yunus's appointment as interim leader was met with a collective sigh of relief by many in Bangladesh and abroad, he also inherited a set of expectations that would prove difficult to manage. The weight of a nation's hopes rested on his shoulders. He was tasked not only with restoring order and stabilizing the economy, but also with addressing deep-seated structural issues that had plagued Bangladesh for decades. One of the most immediate challenges was addressing the disillusionment among Bangladesh's youth. The student-led protests had exposed a deep well of frustration among young people who felt that their voices were not being heard. Yunus understood that restoring their faith in the political system was paramount. He held town hall meetings across the country, listening to the concerns of young people, engaging with them in dialogue, and promising to address their grievances. Another pressing challenge was the issue of corruption, which had become deeply entrenched in Bangladeshi society. Yunus, known for his own personal integrity, pledged to make tackling corruption a cornerstone of his administration. He established an independent anti-corruption commission, empowered to investigate and prosecute corrupt officials, regardless of their political affiliation. MuhammadYunus's return to the helm of Bangladesh signaled more than just a change in leadership. It represented a resurgence of hope for the country's most vulnerable citizens. His decades of experience working with the rural poor, understanding their struggles and empowering them through microfinance, had earned him unparalleled trust and admiration among the disenfranchised. Yunus's first priority was to provide immediate relief to those hit hardest by the economic crisis. He expanded existing social safety net programs, providing cash transfers to low-income families and ensuring that food aid reached those most in need. Drawing on his experience with the Grameen Bank, Yunus revitalized microfinance initiatives, making small loans more accessible to women entrepreneurs in rural areas. He understood that empowering women economically not only lifted families out of poverty but also had a transformative impact on society as a whole. Yunus also turned his attention to the plight of the Rohingya refugees, 1 million of whom had fled persecution in neighboring Myanmar and sought refuge in Bangladesh. Yunus's vision for Bangladesh extended beyond simply restoring order and stability. He envisioned a nation where economic growth was not just a statistic but a tangible reality for all citizens, where the benefits of progress were shared more equitably. Central to this vision was a focus on rural development. Yunus understood that for too long, Bangladesh's economic growth had been concentrated in urban centers, leaving the rural poor behind. He launched a series of initiatives aimed at revitalizing the agricultural sector, providing farmers with access to better seeds, fertilizers, and technology. He also invested in rural infrastructure, improving roads, bridges, and irrigation systems, connecting rural communities to markets and creating new opportunities for trade and commerce. Yunus also recognized the importance of investing in human capital. He believed that education was the key to breaking the cycle of poverty and unlocking the potential of Bangladesh's young population. He increased funding for education, particularly for girls' education, knowing that educating girls had a multiplier effect on families and communities. Yunus understood that a healthy population was essential for economic prosperity. Yunus's return to leadership in Bangladesh came at a time of great upheaval on the global stage. The international order was in flux, with rising geopolitical tensions, economic uncertainty, and the growing threat of climate change. Yunus, a respected voice on the global stage, understood that Bangladesh, despite its challenges, had an important role to play in shaping a more just and sustainable world. One of his priorities was to strengthen Bangladesh's ties with its neighbors in South Asia. He recognized that regional cooperation was essential for addressing shared challenges such as poverty, climate change, and terrorism. Yunus also sought to deepen Bangladesh's engagement with the Muslim world. On the global stage, Yunus was a vocal advocate for multilateralism and a rules-based international order. MuhammadYunus's return to the helm of Bangladesh was an extraordinary turn of events in a life already filled with purpose and impact. His journey from a young economist with a radical idea to a Nobel Laureate and now the leader of a nation at a crossroads is a testament to his unwavering belief in the power of ideas to change the world. His legacy, however, will be inextricably intertwined with the fate of Bangladesh itself. The challenges facing Bangladesh are immense. The country is still grappling with the aftermath of the political and economic crisis that brought Yunus back to power. Yet Bangladesh also has tremendous potential. Yunus, with his vision, his experience, and his unwavering belief in the potential of his people, represents the best hope for Bangladesh to realize its full potential. The road ahead for MuhammadYunus and for Bangladesh is fraught with uncertainty. The country is still reeling from the aftershocks of the political turmoil that led to Sheikh Hasina's ouster. The economy remains fragile and the scars of political division run deep. Yunus, however, remains undeterred. He brings to the table his vast experience, his unwavering commitment to social justice, and his deep understanding of the challenges facing his nation. His success, however, will depend on a multitude of factors, some within his control, others not. The world will be watching, hoping that Yunus, the reluctant statesman, can once again work his magic and guide Bangladesh towards a brighter future.